Nobody came to my graduation. Not my mom. Not my siblings. Not even a single text from my dad. You ever sit in a room full of celebration, clapping, laughter, proud families hugging their kids, and realize none of them are there for you? Yeah, that was me. Cap on, gown ironed, and not one familiar face in the crowd. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. And here's where it gets insane. Just 3 days later, I get a call from my mom. I think maybe she forgot or she wants to apologize. Instead, she says, I need $2,100 for my party. You've been saving, right? No, I'm sorry I missed your big day. No, how did it go? Just straight up, full volume entitlement. But here's the twist. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just smiled, hung up, and got to work. Because while they were planning a party I wasn't invited to, I was planning something else. A silent, calculated payback they'd never forget. One that started with a single dollar and ended with screaming on my front porch. So when my mom showed up at my apartment, demanding answers, yelling like I owed her something, all I did was sip my coffee, peek through the peephole, and smile. What happened next? That's when things really went off the rails. You ever dress up for a party you weren't actually invited to? That's exactly what graduation felt like. A whole stadium filled with cameras flashing, signs waving, families crying, and me, sitting in the middle of it all, completely invisible. I remember scanning the stands like I was lost. Like maybe I just couldn't see them. Like my mom was just running late, or maybe my sister forgot where to park. But deep down, I knew. Nobody was coming. My name was called. I walked across the stage. A few polite claps from strangers. And when I turned to look, just rows of empty seats in the section I told them to sit in. I sat through the rest of the ceremony with a knot in my chest, wondering what I had done wrong. Was I too independent? Too focused on school? Or was I just not worth showing up for? Afterward, everyone was hugging their families, tossing caps, taking group photos. I walked straight to the bus stop, in full graduation gear, while people stared like I was some sort of joke. No dinner. No balloons. Not even a card. Just me, a lukewarm slice of pizza in my dorm, and a Netflix notification asking if I was still watching. And right when I thought that was the lowest point, my phone buzzed. What's the worst thing someone's ever said to you right after breaking your heart? Because for me, it was this. Hey sweetie, I need $2,100 for a party next weekend. You've got that, right? That's what my mom, Linda, said when she finally called me 3 days after my graduation. Not congratulations. Not sorry I missed it. Not even a fake excuse. Just straight into it, like she was ordering takeout. Venue needs a deposit, she said. I want a white and gold theme. It's gonna be huge. And then she laughed. Laughed. Like this was some inside joke and I was just the ATM. I sat there gripping my phone, trying to decide if I should scream or laugh too. But all I could do was nod and say, okay. I'll transfer it tomorrow. And you know what she said? Knew I could count on you. Count on me. The same girl you forgot on the biggest day of her life. The same daughter you couldn't even text, let alone show up for. I hung up and stared at the wall. She didn't care that I'd spent 4 years working double shifts, skipping sleep, clawing my way through school without help. She only called when she needed something. And that's when it clicked. She only calls when she needs something. But this time, I'd give her exactly what she asked for. Kind of. What's the price of closure? Apparently, about $1. The next morning, I woke up calm. Like creepily calm. Like, vengeance is a spreadsheet and I'm about to format it calm. I opened Venmo, typed in $1 and sent it to my mom with the note. For your party. Don't spend it all in one place. No follow-up. No explanation. Just click. Then I drove straight to my apartment leasing office, handed them my ID and $100 and said one sentence. I want every single lock rekeyed. No duplicates to anyone. They didn't even ask questions. I guess I had that burn it all down look in my eyes. After that, it was digital scorched earth. I removed my mom, my sister, and even my cousin from my family Netflix. Hulu? Gone. Shared Amazon Prime account? Cancelled. I even changed the Wi-Fi password at home, just in case they ever showed up trying to borrow internet. You'd think they'd notice. You'd think they'd say something. But nope. That week, my family group chat, which had been silent for months before my graduation, suddenly came alive again. Not to ask about my degree. Not to apologize. They were planning Mom's party. Chandelier rentals. Champagne. Matching outfits. The whole queen for a day fantasy. And then I got a text from my sister Mia. Hey, Mom says your Venmo glitched. Can you resend the $2,100? Glitched? Oh no, Mia. That wasn't a glitch. You ever watch someone completely unravel through a peephole? It was exactly 1 week after I sent that glorious $1 when I heard it, a furious knock, the kind that says I own this place, followed by my mom's voice, sharp and shrieking through the door. Ava, open this door. We need to talk. I didn't even flinch. I just sipped my coffee, walked slowly to the door, and stared through the tiny circle of glass. There she was. Full glam. Hair done, heels on, a thick gold necklace bouncing as she shouted like this was her house. You think you're funny? You think you can just disrespect me like that? After everything I've done for you? Everything she's done for me? You mean the silent graduation? The years of using me as her financial backup plan? The emotional blackmail in the name of family duty? I didn't say a word. She kept yelling, threatening to call the cops, to ruin my credit, to make sure I regretted this forever. So finally, I said one thing through the door. You weren't there when it counted. Now you're locked up for good. Silence. Then footsteps. She left. I should have felt empty. But for the first time in my life, I felt free. And just when I thought this chapter was closed, a plain envelope arrived in my mailbox. No name, no return address. Inside, a handwritten note. And a check for $100. Congrats, graduate. I was wrong. Dad. Funny how $1 can end a relationship, and $100 can begin healing one. I hadn't heard from my dad in years. Divorce, distance, drama, the usual. But that envelope? That small gesture? It hit harder than any speech at graduation ever could. Because he saw me. And that's all I ever wanted. Not money. Not applause. Just to be seen, to be worth showing up for. My mom? She never followed up. No apology. No explanation. Just silence, the kind she gave me on graduation day. Fitting, really. But I wasn't angry anymore. That $1 wasn't revenge. It was a boundary. A receipt. A declaration that I was no longer available for emotional overdraft. I spent 4 years breaking myself to be enough for people who never planned to celebrate me, and I finally realized I don't need their permission to move on. The locks stayed changed. The group chat stayed muted. And me? I finally started living like the main character in my story, not the sidekick in someone else's drama. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to cut someone off just to find your peace? Drop a finally free in the comments if you've been there. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Because sometimes the real graduation is walking away.